This is Wacko Bob, host of the Dark Match, the Wacko Weekly, and Liberal Lies versus Conservative Compromise, which will be coming back real soon over on the TalkShoe Network. Um, this time around, I'm going to be talking a little bit more wrestling once again, because as a lot of people know, WrestleMania 25 has passed, and it's been 2 days now for me to really think about this. And all I could say about this is very, very lackluster. But that's been WWE all the time. And lackluster isn't the only word I've used. I've used, the creative team being very disillusioned. I've used suck, to really describe this. And all I gotta say here is, Vince McMahon, this was the silver anniversary of something you started 25 years ago. This is probably more so your baby than Raw. And you do this? You give us this for a WrestleMania? This is like WrestleMania 13. Only much worse, because the only thing that really saved WrestleMania 13 was Steve Austin versus Bret Hart. That's pretty much what we got out of Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker. That's what really saved the show, and everybody knows that. That's what really kept the show from being a very poor show to being really a mediocre at best show. And I don't think you'll hear anyone disagree with that. But if you look at what was going on with everything leading up to WrestleMania, 5-6 weeks before that, if you look at the fact that Raw ratings have gone down, SmackDown's ratings have tumbled, ECW, who knows how long that could last, why Vince McMahon pays for that with his money, I'll never know. But this is WrestleMania, for Pete's sake. Look at the result. I sat there and said everything on paper looked like shit. My co-host Rick Ryder said things look good. I disagree with him. Santino Marella becoming Miss WrestleMania. And that all hyped up 25 Diva Battle Royal where we're going to see, the Sunnies, the Tories, and everyone return. You gave up what was supposed to be very prestigious. You were finally merging the two tag team titles together. And you bump that to do a 15-minute mini concert of Kid Rock. You don't even have any fanfare for the Divas, which people were excited to see, mind you. People were very excited to see. This was going to be something. No one expected to hear a 15-minute mini show of Kid Rock. And when I called into the law, I had to say something there, and I'm going to get into that later. But someone on the law, a woman who called in before I did, her name was Stephanie. She lives up in Canada. Of course, the law is done in Canada. I called into that show right after WrestleMania. And I got to tell you, but before I get into that call, that woman Stephanie, I got to tell you, she did something. She said something that was totally true. Stephanie McMahon must have given everything that was written out was done by Stephanie McMahon, and it had to be given to her father on a cocktail napkin the night before WrestleMania, back during the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. That's how bad WrestleMania looked. I've seen, my co-host Rick Ryder says otherwise. MVE fan forever, Ben, he says, he agrees with me. This had to be the worst WrestleMania of all time. Santino Marella wins this. You make the unified tag title match that was going to unify the titles. You make that into a dark match. No fanfare for the Divas. Your two main events were a joke. You had no result whatsoever to even make people want to talk about WrestleMania. Come on now. Look at this. For you, the wrestling fan, people paid $60, $65, $70. Some even paid $80 just to pay for this event. Just to see this event on pay-per-view. You tighten your belts even more for it. Are you happy with the outcome you got here? I'll tell you, What's been on the rise leading into this road to WrestleMania? TNA has been on the rise. Their ratings have gone up. They're hitting records every week. It's a slow rise for them. And the Law disagreed with me and cut me off. But who cares? You know, I was calling a bunch of marks for Dave Meltzer, so go figure there. And I'll be doing another video on Dave Meltzer in the near future with his comments about Mike Von Erich and the Von Erichs. And I'll be giving you guys the reality of Dave Meltzer and other smart marks too. But this is WrestleMania. The only other match that would have possibly been good on the card would have been the Colognes going up against The Miz and Morrison. That would have been the only thing. But of course, you had to cut that one off because we needed Kid Rock more than we needed wrestling. Rey Mysterio wins the Intercontinental title in 21 seconds. Why did he even dress for that? Why did he even fuss? You know, you got Bradshaw saying, I quit, and everyone knows what's happening there. Everyone expects Bradshaw to be back on SmackDown, hosting that show. You know, because the Taz left. Rumor has it he's going to TNA. I don't know if that's true or not. But look what's happened. This shows you the state of wrestling today. And it's going to take TNA doing more and more to shake things up, to put the rise of the ratings, to really shake things up for wrestling. Because Vince McMahon, how stagnant could this man who became a billionaire off wrestling be? I don't know what else to say here, man. This was unbelievable. This has to be the first time I was not so proud to be a wrestling fan. Shawn Michaels and Undertaker, that match won me over. You know, the only thing that was going to save this card before WrestleMania, and I said this on my show, the result was going to have to change this card, change the way people felt about this card. And the result was worthless. Anyways, my next video, I don't know when I'll be getting it done. I'll probably be up the next day. You know, it has to do with Chris Benoit and a little something there I'm disappointed with in WWE. But I will be getting that one up. Thank you for listening, and keep coming back here to YouTube and keep listening to the shows.